Loaning men money? I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not sure. I mean, look, there's nuance, yeah, and there will be situations people will find themselves in where it's important to ask for help. But at the same time, I just be feeling like it's a little side eye and a little suspicious when a man finds himself conveniently in a dire financial problem and somehow you happen to be the only person he can come to for help. But the uncanniness doesn't just end there. No, it also just about conveniently happens to be that during the time when he has met you, that's when these financial problems have suddenly come out of nowhere. And the only person who can rescue him is you. But what isn't obvious here is that there is an intricate plan that has carefully been curated so that the moment he asks you for money, there will be an almost 99.9% chance you will say yes. You might be wondering, well, how? How does he curate this environment? How does he know I'm going to say yes? Well, a lot of men just reverse engineer things, innit? Yeah. I've always said on this podcast that men will make observations about you. And based on those observations, that will inform how they're going to move forward with you. So if a man knows that you are likely to do whatever you can do to keep a man around because you're desperate, because you're lonely, because you have low self-esteem, he will take a mental note of that and he'll categorize you in the box of women to ask for shit from. Whether that's sex, whether that's money, whether that's free babysitting of his children. Also, when it comes to this intricate plan of a man somehow conveniently coming to you for money when you have just met him and you feel so emotionally inclined to do so because you want to save him. Usually, these men create an environment where it's similar to the Tinder swindler. Like, these stories are very common. I think the only reason why the Tinder swindler story blew up is because there was a lot of money involved and a lot of women involved. And this man was posting a lavish lifestyle on the gram. So there was always going to be a moment when things would just blow up and come to a head. But there are many regular ass men roaming the world as we speak, asking women for money and not feeling embarrassed about it. As a man. Are you not ashamed of yourself? As a man. Anyway, so the environment they create is, again, they'll choose a woman who most likely has low self-esteem. You don't have to be undesirable to have low self-esteem. Ironically, there are some very beautiful people who fit the beauty standard, but they have insecurities because they are people and because it's normal to have insecurities. Some have more insecurities than others, but once these men clock on that you have a particular insecurity, they'll use it to their convenience and to their advantage. So if you're a woman who has low self-esteem for whatever reason, whether it's abandonment issues, whether it's feeling like no one's ever found you desirable before, whatever it is that has you feeling like you need to keep a man around and work to keep him around, that man's going to take advantage. So what these men will do is, they will give you all the compliments. They will listen out for things you're insecure about, or they will observe what you are insecure about. What do you hide about your body? What do you hide about yourself? What is your pressure point? They will observe all those things. And the reverse engineering mechanism is that they will give you specific compliments about things that maybe no one's ever complimented you about because maybe you and everyone else probably doesn't find it that nice to look at for whatever reason. It could be that if, I don't know, you've got like really visible deep scarring from a surgical procedure you had when you were a child and the scarring has followed you through your life. And maybe you've been insecure about it and you've hidden it from most people, and maybe the scarring is only visible when you remove your clothes. doing certain things, then he might be like, wow, your scar is so beautiful. Can I touch it? Like, just doing whatever they need to do to basically disarm you and make you see this person as somewhat irreplaceable. They will also start to say things to you like, wow, I've never felt this way about someone before. I can't explain it. It's something about the way our bond has just grown. In the past, when I've been with women, yeah, I've had a connection here and there. But with you, something just feels different this time round. I can't put my finger on it. I just don't know. I just don't know what it is. There's something about you. What is it about me? Say it, name it, identify it. What is it? I don't know. There's just something about you. To me, that feels a little bit weird. It's like when you ask a man, why do you love me? I saw this video, yeah. Oh my God. I saw this video. Against my will. It came up on my Instagram explore feed. I saw this reel. And it was one of those relationship couple pages where they post like tender moments from a couple going on a podcast and they're being asked these questions about their relationship. So it was a black couple, a man and a woman. So I think how it works is the couple have to each pick a card. The members of the couple have to each pick a card from the table when it's their turn to speak. And whoever picks the card will read the question that's on the card. So it was the woman's turn to pick a card. She picked up the card and the question on the card was, why do you love me? That question was posed to her male partner, a black man. She's a black woman. Just to keep things super clear, I hope you're following. She picks up the card, she reads the card, it says, why do you love me? He said, I love you because of the way you love me. Then he went on to explain the things that she does to love him. But I just felt a bit like, huh? That's not a good enough answer. What do you mean you love me because of how I love you? So nothing about me as a person. No mention of you love me because I got that gorilla grip, wet, drippy nothing. No mention of you love me because I am such a powerful woman that you feel honored to serve my joy. What do you mean you love me because I love you? That to me sounds like, oh, here we go. I love you because you're my mom. I love you because you behave like my mom. I love you because you pick up after me. I love you because you make excuses for me. I love you because through thick and thin, you're still here. I love you because we've been through a lot. You know what been through a lot means? Been through a lot means he's cheated and she stayed and tolerated it. Listen, no hates people who stay in cheating relationships. You know how I feel about that. As long as he's paying his reparations, you strategically patting yourself through that one. But when a man is like, oh, I love you because of the way you love me, scary. That don't sound like a genuine reason. It just sounds like the love you have for me is conditional upon whether I love you. I don't know how I feel about that. So there are a lot of men who have a similar mindset to that man where they pick out women who enjoy just like having someone to call their partner. There are many women who don't mind the kind of answer that man gave when he said, I love you because of the way you love me. A lot of people will be like, wow, this is deep. Wow. This is so, oh my God, reshare. Oh my God. This is so romantic. I think this is the thing with just like getting scammed by men, yeah. If I was to reincarnate as a man, oh my God, like I would find it so easy to scam women. I can see why men are having an easy time scamming women because women be laying all their cards out on the table. It's like you're playing a card game where your cards are not supposed to be visible to anybody but you. And then from the onset, you're showing everybody what move you're going to play next. Why are you doing that? Why are you talking him through your internal narrative? Why are you doing that? Why are you telling him how much money you make? Why are you doing that? What are you trying to prove in letting that man know how much money you make? You want to prove that you're a girl boss. That's good. Congratulations on being a girl boss. Good. That's good. You want to prove that you're independent. That's good. Congratulations on your independence. Good. That's nice. You want to prove you're not a gold digger. Hey, that's good. That's nice. But why must you prove it? What's wrong with being whatever he worries that you might be? Because he's still loitering around for a reason. A lot of men will worry that you are one thing or another, but as long as they want to have sex with you, they will hang around long enough to wait for the sex to happen. Men don't be having standards. They be lying. They be lying in their raps about the standards they have. They be lying generally about the kind of women that they prefer to date when they're talking to them and them. The lies. We see the lies. Don't believe the lies. So when it comes to being a woman who is prime target for having money taken from you, it's because you talk too much. You talk too much. Talking way too much because you're trying to come across as irreplaceable, because you're overcompensating, because you're insecure. And you're doing that thing where you're hearing a man talk about things that he's maybe passionate about or interested in. And most of the time when men are having those conversations with you, they're trying to impress you. A man should want to impress you. I don't think it's a bad thing for someone to want to impress you. I think if someone wants to impress you, it means that they view you to a high enough degree to want to make you feel welcomed, or to feel like your time here isn't going to waste, or to just feel like, you know, you're worth the show I'm putting on. So when a man's trying to impress you, he's telling you about all the stuff that he be getting up to, you know, his little tech adventures. He's talking about his crypto. When men start talking about crypto, because, you know, a lot of men don't expect me to know about crypto because I've got big tits. So when men start talking about crypto, I don't like to say how much is in my crypto wallet, but I'll ask certain questions that make them realize I know exactly what's going on here. So, for example, if a guy is talking about, I don't know, Bitcoin, the usual conversation with crypto, especially as of the past 3 years, is we are in a bad place, guys. We are in the dumps. Have you noticed all the Forex people have disappeared? All the crypto people disappeared. Ain't nobody in your DMs anymore coming to cold message you about, would you like to join our Forex scam? Would you like to start making 2 million a month from home? Everybody has disintegrated into dust because the market has collapsed. We're in a recession. So when guys are talking about their little Bitcoin and their little crypto, my way of passively making it known that I know what they're talking about is I might be like, yeah, man, Bitcoin's having a hard time, but I have hope for the altcoins. You know, when we observe the more recent history, especially with Ethereum and many things being built on Ethereum, like regardless of what's happening with Bitcoin, there are still like micro triumphs within certain altcoins, but I don't have the energy to keep up. So I'm not going to sell anything, because you only lose when you sell. Like, when you see the Jagon, give them Jagon. You want to stock Jagon, give them Jagon. Jagon for Jagon. You are the only person that knows how to do Ethereum, innit? Anyway, here's my wallet address. If you want to send me anything, Binance is what I use. I can't even read off my wallet address. It is so long. I don't think it's possible to memorize your wallet address, you know. I don't think so. Anyway, I'm actually very up to speed with crypto. I'm so proud of myself, you know. Like, I have a ledger. Most of my Bitcoin is on my ledger, to be honest. But yeah, guys, I lost a total of like, I want to say I lost like £12,000. Yes. Woe is definitely me. I can definitely confirm that woe is me. £12,000. It hurts. It hurts. So how we got to this crypto conversation is because when guys are trying to impress you, sometimes they'll talk about things that they don't expect you to be aware of. You don't have to try and like give them measure for measure by telling them how much you have in your crypto wallet. For example, after I've, dropped hints that I know what he's talking about by referencing Ethereum and altcoins and my understanding of like how the overall graph is panning out, he's probably going to be curious to know how many Ethereum coins I have, or how many stellar lumens you got. I'm not going to give you an answer. I'm not giving you an answer. I'll probably say something along the lines of, it got to a point where I sold a handful, but I kept a few. Most of it is on my ledger though, so I'll have to go and check, because when I used to log it in my other crypto app, that I inputted the data wrong for one of them. So basically the data I have for the total amount of coins I have is genuinely incorrect. But I can kind of guess if I really sit down and try and calculate. By the time I've gone into that deep explanation, he ain't gonna care, girl. But it's about like letting guys know, I know what you know, but don't tell them everything that you know. Just let them know, like, you ain't. Don't even try that around here. Your crypto jargon will not scare me. Holds cross to the devil. Your crypto jargon will not scare me in the name of Jesus. But yeah, I'm very vehemently against telling men how much money you make. Guys, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? That's like owing. I don't even know how to explain it, but I do know how to explain it actually. It's like it's like owing bare people money and then you're dripped out Versace head to toe on Instagram. And it's clear that these are recent purchases because it's from the newest Versace collection. Or it's like being on Universal Credit and then you're jet setting and you're posting all your jet setting holiday pics, and it's obvious that these are not throwback pictures. You think HMRC ain't watching? Why would you do that? So I liken both of those examples to telling a broke man that you have money. He don't need to know. Even if he ain't broke, he don't need to know how much you have. As far as that man is concerned, you have some, but you could always do with more. Vague. Okay? I have some, but I could always do with more. Vague implies that you are independent, but also open to being supported. Shows that you have management of your own money, but you are welcome to help me manage some more. Yeah, bring it. Yes. Be vague with your money, girl. Because the only way a man can come to you with some dramatic, crazy, blown out problem is if he's of the impression that you are likely to fall for it emotionally. They play on your emotions. All they need to know is that you're the kind of person that will do a big Florence Nightingale. Florence Nightingale was a nurse who saved many people from dying, innit? Yeah. So, like, if this guy detects that you are somebody who, you be feeling sorry for people, you are easily made to feel guilty. Prime targets. So just be careful what you're revealing, innit? Like, obviously, if you're in a line of work where it's obvious that you're making a significant amount of money, you still don't need to tell him how much you're making. If anything, you can also let's both be reverse engineers. You can also reverse engineer an atmosphere where even though you have money, your money is tied up in affairs. So you can be like, you can start like planting this seed of storytelling based on a lie, but make sure it's a lie that you've had enough time to really nurture and practice in your head, so that when you're telling this lie, it rolls off the tongue like butter and syrup. Okay? So you're going to lie that you have been helping a family member pay their rent while they are sorting out their visa situation in the UK, this is your last surviving senior family member from, I don't know, your dad's side of the family, and all the pressure has been on you, you don't really get much of a chance to talk about it because it's so consuming. But you have hope that within the next year, the situation should have eased. So it basically implies that, yeah, you have money, but your money is tied up in affairs. Yeah, your money is tied up in helping someone because you are noble. So why I think that's important is because, remember, I'm big on lying to men, innit? Yeah. Lying as in concealing certain elements of your truth until it feels safe to reveal those truths, because you just don't know with men until you fuck around and find out. So lying about the money you make, important. Men are really good at having a sub story, so you got to have your own sub story always prepared. Always prepared. That way, when you have the sub story of, you know, I'm helping my relative to pay rent, it just makes you look like a really good person, because you are a good person. It makes you look like a good person. It does sound like it lines up with his character profile of who you are, because he's already observed that you are an empathetic person who's likely to help someone. So he knows that, yeah, that sounds true. He's not going to be like, she's lying. Like, most men don't expect you to be this smart. So as long as you tell the story confidently, even practice some follow-up questions that someone might ask you about the story. Make up a date that relative came to the UK. Yo, listen, this is how men formulate their lies. Like, you literally have to create an alternative reality and visit that alternative reality mentally often, so that it feels like a place that you mentally frequent. So that when your brain is having recalls, it won't be like you're scrambling for data that is scattered across your brain. It's in a very neatly packaged folder that you visit often. You remember where you kept everything, every memory, every detail is all there. Like, I've got multiple lies on deck here just to protect myself financially from men. Thankfully, I'm not in a situation or position where there are men around me who I have to financially dodge and protect myself from. But you just never know where you'll find yourself. And sometimes even men with money will try and probe you. So it's always good to give the impression that you are financially stable and independent, but you're not financially irresponsible. So, like, you know, if you say things like, I don't know, what's a dumb thing to do with your money? Don't say you lost your money in crypto. Even though that's the truth, don't say you lost your money in crypto. Like, what I mean by that is, let's say you meet a guy who, like, you want him to help you financially. Don't say you lost your money in crypto. You're better off just saying that you're helping a family member out and that has set you back financially, because it just sounds more noble. Saying you lost your money in crypto. Remember, not everybody understands crypto. Only the crypto guys understand crypto. So you can tell a crypto guy that you lost money in crypto, because that can be a bonding conversation, because anybody who was investing in crypto has lost something, right? So that's a different context of conversation, as opposed to somebody who doesn't know anything about crypto. If you tell them you lost your money in crypto, they already think, most people who don't know about crypto think it's some sort of Ponzi scam. Like, they don't get it. It's really hard to explain to people who don't understand crypto. Most people just see it as like a silly thing. Like, what do you mean you lost money? What do you mean you bought a coin on the internet? What do you mean you bought a NFT? Which one is? And I actually still don't really understand NFTs, you know. As someone who owns Ethereum, as someone who is interested in altcoins, I never fully understood NFTs. Anyway, stay on track. A guy who is not interested in crypto, don't be telling him you lost your money in crypto. Tell him that you have been helping somebody you care about and it has financially slowed you down. That's all. That way you don't sound irresponsible, because if you tell him you lost your money in crypto, you sound irresponsible. Then if someone thinks you're irresponsible, they're less likely to want to give you money. Did you know that? And I think as well, it's like, when it comes to men who want to like poach women to take money from them, these are usually men who are good looking and have big things, because that's what they get by on. That's why I'm like, it's more than just seeing men as frivolous, unserious beings. This is deeper than that. It's also about observing the things you put on pedestals and questioning how those pedestals or how those features about men that you put on pedestals are affecting you. Because if you are pedestalizing a man having big things or a man being good looking in the face, like if that's what you prioritize when dating men, this is how you're going to be getting got, because it's usually the men who are shiny exterior. It's like just shit covered in glitter, girl. That's why I'm like, you need to stop falling for looks. You need to stop falling for dick size. None of those things matter if the main things are not crossed off on the checklist. The main things, but you know where I'm going with this. You always know I'm going with this. The main things being financial, not only financial stability, financial well-being, financial abundance in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Okay? Not only is it financial abundance and well-being in Jesus' name, amen, financial maturity. Some men have money, but they're not mature with their money. Some men have money, but they would rather go to a strip club and buy £1,000 bottle of champagne than to just give you that money and call it a fucking day. Some men have money, but they like to be spiteful and wicked and stupid with their money. They want to make you jump through a few hoops before they give you that money. But before they even give you that money, they'll try and haggle you down. Some men have money, but they spend it on dumb shit. Like a fucking G-Wagon. They buy the G-Wagon outright. You buy the car outright. So it's like depreciated from the time you take it out of the parking lot, yeah? And then G-Wagons just be fucking guzzling fuel. And I heard they're not even that comfortable to drive. Bare things. Anyway, they're doing all this, yeah? But if you want money from them, they're going to make you feel like you're siphoning them. So it's about finding somebody who's not just financially abundant, but it's someone that is financially mature. Someone who understands that your money is there to be invested in women. That's what you make your money for, okay? Because everything you're doing, all the stunting, all the flexing, all the throwing money on the floor in the club to impress other men, all of it still comes down to competing for the female gaze. All of it comes down to posturing to show how able you are to get women's attention. So just admit and accept and recognize that you love it when women give you attention for your money. Men love it, man. Don't mind the guys. That's why I'm like, the only men who take issue with my work are ironically the men who are not even, you're not a target. You're not an aspirational figure in my mind, in anything. I don't want you. Would never look in your direction, to date, to fuck, nothing. You have actually got nothing to be worried about. You are safe here because I don't want you. I've never seen a man who has the means in my comment section complaining about women liking money. It's usually the men who be borrowing money off women that are in the comment section calling women gold diggers. And isn't it ironic that men suddenly remember love when you remember money? You couldn't beat love out of a man. You could not get a man to talk about love, yeah, on a normal fucking Tuesday. But once you mention that you like money, watch a man gets up like Undertaker. Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, he'll get up like Undertaker and he'll be like, but what about love? Mr. Lovey Lovey, tell me about love. I'm listening. You suddenly want to talk about love. Oh, you suddenly have feelings. Oh, on a fucking Tuesday, couldn't fucking beat it out of you to hear you talk about love and vulnerability and emotions and opening up to someone and being in union with someone you care about. And now because I said I like money, you remembered love. So you agree that love and money go hand in hand. So this is why I'm cautious about men who lead with, I'm so in love with you. It's very scary when you've just met a man and he's already telling you he loves you. Girl, can you not see what's going on here? He's trying to fast track the connection, either so he can beg you for money or so he can have endless sex with you. Unlimited. You see that pass? You know when you go to a thought park, what's that unlimited pass you get where you don't have to queue and you can go on the ride as many times as you like? He's got that pass to your pussy because he told you that he loved you in the second week of you lot fucking and sucking, and you caught feels because you were like, oh my god, yeah, my pussy's so good that he told me that he's in love with me and we just met. Yeah, he told you that he's in love with you when you just met because he knows that that's what he needs to say in order to have you more physically available for him. And so that when it's time for him to ask you for money, you give him money because I love him and he loves me and that's my man and I'm a stand by my man. And sometimes you go through ups and downs in a relationship, okay? And you have to go through thick and thin. And you can't have the rainbow without the rain, okay? And we're in a recession right now, so people are struggling. Yeah, but I refuse to allow recession to block me and my goals. I don't give a fuck if it's a recession. I don't give a fuck if it's the apocalypse. Give me your money. You got money. Somebody's got money. Even if the whole of Wall Street is collapsing, somebody's got money. Somebody is always going to have it. Where is that person? Show me. Someone's always going to have it. It just ain't the man that you're talking to. Because I've had conversations with men, yeah. Ironically, again, it tends to be the men who borrow money from women. These are the ones who get the most defensive when I talk about money. They like taking women's money, but they don't like women taking their money. Uncanny. How fucking convenient. Anyway, the men who like to debate me about money, right? They're often the ones who, their rebuttal, their golden comeback is, yeah, but it's a recession. So if you're saying you want to date men who can financially take care of you, you have to consider, statistically speaking, we're in a recession. So the chances of that happening are slim. No, it's not. The chances of that happening are not slimmer at all. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because recession or not, broke men are always going to exist. Yeah? It's not recession. You're just broke. Yes, people are experiencing more financial strain than usual because of the recession. But there are people who are not. For some people, they have to choose between milk and Netflix. Yeah? One's got to go. For other people, they got to choose between keeping their 5th holiday home or selling it. Yeah? The recession is hitting everyone differently, but there are still men who have money. So as a woman, I don't care what's going on in the stock market. What I care about is who's going to give me the best and easiest life. If you can't give me the best and easiest life, then you don't qualify as a contender. Sorry to break that news to you. Commiserations, fam. Sorry, yeah? Sorry, yeah? I know it's not nice. Sorry, yeah? It's okay. Go and find someone else. Go and find a woman that you can borrow money from. And that's how the cycle manifests. Yeah? Men will justify it to themselves that because we're in a recession, they're having a hard time. And it's a trigger point for most people. Like, we can all relate to how the recession is impacting everybody. But people aren't equally impacted by the recession. So when men cling on to this whole like, but you know it's a recession, I'm having a hard time. Like, a lot of women are going to be emotionally reactive to that. And they're going to make excuses for that man. They're going to be like, yeah, it's a recession. Like, true say it's a recession. Like, obviously, he needs my help. So how come, even though it's a recession, you still have money to help him, but he doesn't have money to help himself? Do you have two heads? How come in a recession, you still managed to find money, but he didn't manage to find money, but we're both in the same recession? Can you not see the point I'm making? Instead of to go and find money, he's finding pussy. Huh? That's not adding up. Which is why his finances are in the pits, because he's not focused on the right thing. And this is why I have a big gripe against, like I said, big gripe against telling men how much money you have, trying to flex and stunt on men with your money to show them how independent and bossed up you are. Fam, you can show a man how independent and bossed up you are by ignoring him. Do you know that? You would actually communicate more about how independent and bossed up you are by not giving him any attention than by overcompensating and telling him about how much money you be making and how this opportunity came. Stop telling them that. Stop oversharing. Believe that you are enough, okay? No matter how much you're struggling with your self-esteem, and no matter how anxious you are that men are not going to like you unless you have something extra to bring that other women don't have to bring, it's not going to work for you. You're only going to be attracting the men who want to mooch off of you. You are enough. You are. You just got to believe it. You need to behave like you're enough. By ignoring these, ignore them. When they don't have what you want, ignore them. When they say something that doesn't make you feel right, ignore them. When they make a joke that ain't funny, ignore them. Learn to keep quiet. Learn to keep quiet. It's the same thing as if you're having sex with a guy and whatever he's doing, it ain't hitting. Keep quiet. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to make a fake noise. Keep quiet. Learn to keep quiet. Yeah? Like, the overcompensating is getting you siphoned by men. Because this leads to the even more slippery slope of sleeping with a man who you've loaned money to. Hey! First of all, sleeping with a man, period, yeah, regardless of the surrounding scenario, sleeping with a man gives you a more blurry perspective of the situation. You are bound to experience the blur. It don't matter how long you have been preserving yourself, being careful and intentional about how you carry yourself. It doesn't matter. Once you have sex with a guy, especially if you like him, from that point on, something does change on your side as the woman, which is why you got to say, drag out the sex, drag it out for as long as you can. Because once you engage in that activity, hetero is far away. Okay? You cannot go back. Okay? Which is why I'm actually scared of you lot that are barebacking these guys. I'm genuinely petrified, babe. I'm scared. Bareback? Do you know what scenario would elicit the response of bareback from me? Do you know what I would be doing? Do you know what situation I'll be in where I'll be like, bareback? Do you know what I'd be doing in that situation? For me, I'm saying this on the record, yeah. You're welcome to come and hold me to account because I will answer all questions. The only time I'm barebacking would genuinely be like, I need to really sit and think about this because have I ever barebacked? Listen, this is gonna sound so deep, yeah. Sorry for the trauma, but when I have barebacked, it was against my will, innit? If you know what I mean. But in terms of like genuinely barebacking because you want to bareback, like it's not even marriage because I don't know if I want to be married, but like for me to bareback a guy, like that means there's a chance I'm going to get pregnant, right? Now I need to think about, do I want to have this person's child? Am I in a situation where I feel like this man has taken care of me well enough to have the trust and faith that he will take care of me and his child? Based on those two questions and omitting the 5 other ones that I could have listed, the scenario that would involve me barebacking a man is genuinely like he's fully financially invested. Rent is fully paid. Rent is so fully paid, I don't even know how much my rent is. That's the situation that I'd be in. Not only will rent be fully paid, trips on trips on trips, gallivants. Gulliver's travels every day, every night, every weekend. We're going everywhere we're going. Like, we're living an active fun. Like, this is a man he's so minted, yeah, that when he exhales, the room smells of peppermint. Yeah? He's so minted, Tic Tac got to sponsor him. That is the only situation I can imagine myself barebacking in. Now, how we got to bareback is because I'm hearing scary, horrific scenarios, yeah, of women barebacking men who they're lending money to. I'm scared, guys. American Horror Story isn't even out yet, but this is giving American Horror Story, guys. I'm scared. This is spooky. I mean, we're not in October yet. I'm spooked, guys. Halloween isn't for another month plus. What? What do you mean? What do you mean you're barebacking and you're giving him money? I'm scared. That is... Can it get more backwards than that? Like, I think that's as inverted backwards as you could go, really. And this isn't judgment. This is concern. I'm petrified. I'm scared. Like, I'm expressing that I'm scared. That's scary. Because, do you know what it is, yeah? Pussy has layers of access that you can give, right? There's, like, the outside where, you know, because remember... And if you've been listening to this podcast for long enough, then against your will, you are aware that I'm a dominatrix, right? I'm so sorry that you know this information. Anyway, if you've been listening to this podcast long enough, then you've heard some of the stories of things I've gone up to with guys as a dominatrix. And I'm not a professional dominatrix, meaning that I don't have like regular clients or a dungeon that I work at. I would more say I'm lifestyle, but even lifestyle sounds like I'm just doing this every day with a man in the cage in my living room. Like, it's not even that. I just say lifestyle because I just I involve myself in the scene more from a lifestyle place rather than like a professional sort of work. Anyway, where I was going with this is pussy's got layers to it, right? If a guy is really well behaved, like really well behaved, and he's a sub, really good boy, maybe, depending on the mood the goddess is in, depending on the tasks that have been completed to high excellence, depending on, again, the good behavior and diligence of the good boy, maybe he might be allowed to sniff the pussy through the pants. So the pant is still on. Okay? That's phase 1. You're getting a whiff of the aroma of the Maggi and no. Okay? You know what's cooking in the kitchen, but you're not allowed in the kitchen. You can just smell what's going on. Okay? That's phase 1. Phase 2. Again, granted that good behavior has been exhibited. Phase 2, the pint has now been removed from the chat. Now you can sniff again, but this time you're getting more of the aroma. No touching. Okay? This is the beckus, this is your nose, this close. Yeah? You're allowed to just smell the ingredients and then move back. That's phase 2, fam. Can you see how far we are away from bareback? We're still on just smelling it. We're still at phase 2. We're 2 phases in and we're only smelling it. Okay? We've done phase 1, smelling of pints. Phase 2, we've removed the pint. Phase 3. Phase 3. No licking. You're allowed to kiss the surrounding area. Not the actual pussy itself. Maybe the part where there's hair. Maybe. Okay, phase 3. Again, we are at phase 3. Can you just now start to mentally visualize how far we are away from bareback? This is why I'm shaking and concerned that people are barebacking men they're loaning money to, because these men need to be paying to sniff. Anyway, we've sniffed, we have kissed. Okay, phase 4. Phase 4 is you're not allowed to kiss. You're allowed to now kiss the actual lips. No licking, just kiss and move back. That's phase 4. Phase 5. Okay, phase 5. Phase 5. Maybe you're allowed to lick. You're allocated maybe like 6-7 licks. It will be counted and then you'll be told to move back. Phase 5. Can you see we are 5 phases in? Can you mentally visualize how far away bareback is? Because remember, there is no mention of his body parts doing anything We've not even incorporated fingers yet. There's probably a good, solid, strong 10 phases before we get to bareback. Do you know that? So that's why I'm shaking, horrified, mortified, concerned to hear on this God-blessed Friday that people are barebacking men that they're loaning money to. I'm gonna fight you, bruv. Fucking fight. We're gonna fight because that's breaching the code of conduct, guys. Come on, guys. Pack it up. Stop doing that. Get up. Stop doing that. Bareback is reserved for the man who is the last man standing in your life. Okay, he's the man who, if an accidental, I don't know, if a bullet is accidentally discharged, then it is what it is, isn't it? Like you're not gonna be racing to go have a morning after pill, you know? Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm so sorry. It's no way, because this reminds me of the ongoing, never-ending conversation in our community of women about, oh, what are we? Why is he not making me his girlfriend? Because you're giving him girlfriend privileges. He's not making you his girlfriend because you're already giving him girlfriend privileges, i.e. bareback. I don't know, man. Because even bareback, I feel like bareback that's beyond girlfriend. There has to be, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm not sure about that one. That's a really, really, really big reward. You gotta save that. You gotta like understand what bareback does to men and does for them. Yeah, can't just be letting them have that access because he's nice to you or because you vibe well. Girl, you can vibe with a fucking AI bot on ChatGPT. If you really was looking for a vibe, there is AI that will understand you better than that man. If you're looking for a connection, go to ChatGPT. Please, I'm begging. For the sake of all of us. Leave us alone. Please. Because I'm scared. I don't like it here. Please stop barebacking these broke guys. I promise you, you will not die. I don't know how we got there. Because once you break that barrier, yeah, you ain't getting your money back. Whatever money you loaned him, you ain't seeing that money, girl. He's going to be like, I ain't got the money, but like, I can pay you in orgasms. Girl, what? What? I'm scared. You're talking about he going to pay you in orgasms? You're going to accept it? Because it feels nice? This is how people be ended up in these situations. That's why when people are messaging me being like, "Oh, how did you get this mindset? How do you know what you know?" Like almost like it's not even they're asking from a place of like, "Oh, I admire how you think and see things." It's like kind of like a shady sort of like, "Yeah, but why do you know that? Who are you to know that?" And it's like, but how do you not know that? That's the real question. Because nothing I'm saying is rooted in any kind of like scientific research or gate-kept studies or shit only 5 people in the world know about. Like, I'm just like observing the reality that we're all living in simultaneously. I'm just going down the path less traveled, which is the path of believing yourself rather than believing that man. Most women believe men over themselves. So that's why they be overcomplicating everything. You're overcomplicating it all. And that's why it's hard, because you're overcomplicating it. The easy option is usually the scarier option, because there's nothing to complicate when you face the facts. The facts being, men want sex from you. I've always said it's not the end of the world if a man wants sex from you, because you can always leverage that desire. Yes, he wants sex from you. What do you want? Not even just from him. What do you want? What do you want for your life? What do you want? What do you want for your life? And how can that man get you there? Because if that man isn't taking you closer to the life you want, you shouldn't be barebacking him. That's very, very silly of you. Don't do that. Okay? Stop giving him bareback. Put your pants on. and your wig and your lashes as well, because girl needs to stay fleeky. But like, no, real talk, yeah. Before you're visualizing the marriage you're gonna have and the kids you're gonna have and the house you're gonna live in, you need to make a vision board of the life you want for yourself. It doesn't have to be a Pinterest board or a physical printed out A3 board that's pinned on your wall with photos pasted onto it. No, I'm just saying like a mental mood board of what you want your life to look like. So let's use me as an example, right? I know exactly what I want my life to look like. If that man can't get me there, our conversation is not going to last longer than the time between the traffic light turns red and when it turns green on the road. Like, we got nothing to be discussing, my guy. I like your shirt. Your haircut suits you. You seem like a nice person. I giggled a couple times in our conversation. That's good. Let me come and be going, though, because you're not taking me closer to where I want to be within the next 5 years. So you might be curious at this point, where does Chidi want to be within the next 5 years? Well, I don't want to be paying for anything utilities related using my own money. Meaning, I still want to be making my own money from things that I'm passionate about. But I don't want that money to be going into my rent. Someone else should be handling that. I also, let's see. Because, mind you, I'm not talking about rent of where I live now. I'm talking about rent of where I envision myself living in the next 5 years, which is going to be, I want a 3-bedroom riverfront apartment. One of the bedrooms will be my pole studio / like wardrobe sort of situation, like a walk-in wardrobe, but a big walk-in wardrobe with slidey with slidey doors that double as mirrors. And when you open the slidey door, the wardrobe lights up and you can see all your clothes. Because I have that right now, but it's not a walk-in wardrobe. I have the slidey mirror thing, the slidey mirror wardrobe, but there's no separate facility for my wardrobe. My wardrobe is just in my room where my bed is. I don't have the space to put a pole in my flat right now. So the goal is within the next 5 years, I want to have moved somewhere where it's a 3-bedroom riverfront. I've got a pole in there. Then another room is my room for working and making things. I'm a very creative person. So my new hobby, which I'm so happy to have found, is, you won't believe this, drum roll, sticking rhinestones on things. Woo! No, I'm being dead serious, guys. That is my new hobby and I love it here. Oh my God. Time flies when you're sticking rhinestones on. Oh, it's so satisfying, because when you have ADHD, which I have, you need to have a task that allows you to hyperfocus, but also allows you to have something on in the background. But the thing that's on in the background is something that you have to be paying attention to in order to grasp what's going on. So one thing I love about rhinestoning is it keeps me in the house, girl. Now, you might be wondering, where has rhinestoning things come from? If you are not aware, I'm a burlesque dancer. Yes, by day, I go by the Slumflower, who is known as the Sunday Times #1 best-selling author of What a Time to Be Alone and the creator of #SaggyBoobsMatter that went viral in 2018. But by night, I'm known as Goddess Gina, the dominant delight that brings slinky, sexy sensuality to the stage. No, real talk. That's what I'll be doing. So I'm a burlesque dancer and I love me some rhinestones. It takes really long to rhinestone things, depending on whether it's a shoe, a garment. I have 2 pairs of shoes that I have covered completely in rhinestones, and I'm very proud. Each rhinestone was hand glued by me. I have a pair of shoes where one shoe has at least 1,000 rhinestones on it. And I'm so satisfied by knowing that that means that 1,000 times I did this. And then another time. And then another time. Literally just gesturing the motion of picking up a rhinestone with my wax pencil and then sticking the rhinestone onto the glued part of the garment. Like, it's so mundane and so satisfying. Ugh. So that keeps me in the house, and that keeps me away from men who ask me for money, because you have to be outside for men to locate you and ask you for money, right? So if I'm indoors sticking rhinestones on things, who's going to find me and ask me for money? So that keeps me away from crime. That keeps crime off the streets, because the real crime and the real crisis is men asking women for money. Okay, that's what you call a bitch nigga crisis. Okay. That's the crime we should be fighting. Sadiq Khan, where are you? Are you seeing the men God put on this earth to build houses for us are asking us for money and using the money to buy a microphone from Amazon to discuss our body counts? Sadiq Khan, are you hearing? Are you seeing what's happening to your London? Please fix it too. We're tired here because this is not it. What do you mean? Do you mean giving men money? No. Because let me tell you the reality, yeah? If God forbid, able God, don't allow it, but if God forbid you was to fall down and die right now, do you think he would not find that money from someone else? A criminal will always have more than one source. Do you know that? And I think men who be not feeling shame about asking women that they have specifically targeted sexually for money are the real criminal. That's criminal behavior. That's a criminal. Okay? That's a crime. That's a crime. Don't do that. Don't entertain it. Run. Please. Stop letting them think that it's normal to do this. See it, say it, sort it. When you see suspicious behavior, when you see men in the street asking women for money, when you see men on WhatsApp asking women for money, when you see men on Instagram asking women for money, when you see men in relationships asking women for money, see it, say it, sorted. Okay? Contact Crime Stoppers. Call, is it 111? Is that ambulance or police? Who do you call? Ghostbusters if you can at this point. Whoever can sort that situation out, because that's a crime, girl. Ew. But yeah, I think it's really scary to be having unprotected sex with men who are not financially protecting you. Very, very backwards, because you are one Tic Tac / morning after pill away from your life changing for a very long time. Even if you choose to remove the collection of cells, yeah, you're still gonna have to go through some downtime. That's your time gone. Will he be financially nurturing you in that downtime? No, because he was asking you for money. And he's going to make you pay for your own abortion. I'm livid. Ooh, my head is hot. Other scenario, you have one of those phantom pregnancies where you don't realize you're pregnant till you're going to go take a shit, and then you realize that you are 8 centimeters dilated because for some reason your pregnancy never showed. I have heard very horrific stories of that happening to women who have a very similar build to me, but for whatever reason, they were 9 months pregnant, full term, 9 months pregnant. And the bump just never bumped. The baby didn't move for whatever reason. And then when it came to labor time, they just randomly went to the toilet, and then they felt pins, push. Next thing you know, a baby lands in the toilet. What? Or they call 111 saying, I've been having these weird stomach pains. Like, I don't have a history of endometriosis or painful periods. I'm not on my period. I'm kind of confused. Finished my period like 2 days ago, so this is weird. What's going on? They tell you to go to A&E. You go to A&E. Next thing you know, you're go. So I think this is the kind of shit where my mind goes to. That's where my man be going. I don't be doing Dunkin' Donuts anyhow. I mean, look, I say I don't be doing Dunkin' Donuts anyhow. I'm not in a position where I have the opportunity to be pondering on whether I should dunk or not dunk. because I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have any person that I'm in a sexual relationship at the moment. So there's no sort of deliberation on should I let him or should I not. It's like the club is empty around here, and I love that for me. I'm happy to be in the empty club and practice my dance skills. Please, I'm scared. It's a fucking crisis out there. But yeah, like one thing that bothers me about giving men money, like to help them through their situation, is guys, yeah, I guarantee you they're taking your money to the strip club. They're giving your money to other women. Do you know that? Yeah, because most men secretly, and this is why they hate it when a woman speaks it out loud, because it just double confirms reality. But most men are aware that you're not getting very far in a woman's favor without having money to some degree. Okay? You need to have money. Really, what's the word? A really explicit example of that is the strip club. You don't be going to the strip club empty-handed, because ain't nobody going to dance with you. You ain't getting no VIP. You're getting nothing. Yeah, you might get a couple conversations with pretty women, but they're only talking to you to feel out whether or not you're going to be a customer. And when they see that it ain't going nowhere, they'll walk away and leave you to be someone else's problem. So you know that if you're coming to a strip club and you want to enjoy the experience of women's attention, you're going to have to pay up. So similarly, in the outside world, a similar principle applies. You're going to have to pay up, especially if you want the woman that is out of your league. What makes you worthy of being with a woman despite you not being in her league? I wonder what's the one thing that can set you apart and make you stand out. Struggling to ponder, struggling to think. What can make a man bearable to deal with? Is it money? Ding ding ding, money, yay! Yeah, girl. These men know what they're supposed to do. They just hope that you will dislike yourself enough to talk yourself out of your own worth, because for them to know what your pussy feels like, you need to dislike yourself. So yeah, these guys are spending your money on other women. They're using your money to impress other women. How do you feel about that? Personally, I wouldn't have that. So when you're lending men money, be mindful of what you're lending. Because you know what? Yeah, there's nuance in it. The only nuance that I can accommodate here is like, if a guy is my friend. I'm talking friend where there's no sexual tension, there's no sexual potential, there's no romantic inclination whatsoever. It's just a pure friendship. Like, that's my bro, that's my guy. In that situation, yeah, I might borrow him like maybe like £100 at most. But rarely, I don't think unless a guy is doing like a fundraiser, that's different, because fundraiser isn't lending or loaning someone money. A fundraiser is like, that's charity and it's for a cause that's outside of the person as an individual. But I don't think I've ever even had a scenario with any of my guy friends where they've asked me for money. That's not happened. It doesn't mean they've not had hard times, but they've figured out how to unhard the hard time without involving me. Look, I'm here to offer prayers, hugs, words of encouragement, because that too can take you quite far, you know. Sometimes you help a man more by not giving him money. You help him by reminding him of what he's capable of, reminding him of what his strengths are, being encouraging towards him, maybe being a partner in accountability. He might even make twice the money that he needed to make because you believe in him. So when we think we're helping men, sometimes we're hindering them. But I don't want this conversation to be about what we can do to make men as primed for their own greatness as possible. That's their problem. What I'm saying is, we need to get out of the mindset of thinking that we need to give men money, because the real question is, why are you seeking out men who need your help? Why are you always somebody who ends up in a scenario where a man needs to borrow from you? Is it because you need to feel needed? Is it because if you lend him money, he's indebted to you, therefore technically he can't just disappear? So is this about abandonment more than it's about just being like this helper of the people? Virgo, talking to you. Because it's really be Virgo shit happening here. Like, it really be Virgos and Pisces getting caught in this. Virgo, Pisces, Cancer women. Oh, chai. Virgo, Pisces, Cancer. Who else? I think Virgo, Pisces, Cancer are they're like most likely to be a victim of this, of like men with their sob stories and you lot just falling for it. I say you lot. Me, I have a Virgo placement. I have a Mars in Virgo. So I understand. Okay? I understand the feeling of wanting to help people. I understand the feeling of doing the right thing by easing someone out of worries that I can afford to take an inconvenience for on their behalf. Those traits deserve to stay. You don't need to stop being a helping person, especially if you've got a Virgo placement, girl. It's more about being selective of who you share that energy with, especially if you are doing this stuff with men, please. If you want to help someone and he's a man, help a refugee. Like, I'm not even joking here. Help someone who is in a situation where there is no sexual benefit involved, like you're genuinely saving someone's life. That's where I'll put my money. Like, go to the borders and see what people are experiencing, the tents they're living in, the lack of humanity being afforded to them. Those are the men who I would give them money, because some of them have got small children that they've arrived on these tiny boats with. They're the people who are men I'd give money to. Not Jacob from Walthamstow wearing a Bape t-shirt, fleecing you of your student loan. Get out here with that. Not Adekunle from Woolwich fleecing you of your OnlyFans money. Get out here with that. Not Temi Tokwe from Catford fleecing you of your stripper money. Get out of here with that. The fuck? If you want to be doing humanitarian relief, go to the places where people actually need relief. Leave these men alone to go fix themselves. They've got their mums. They've got other women they're talking to. If they're not getting it from you, they're getting it from someone else. Okay? Keep that in mind. If you were to die right now, God forbid, he will find somebody else to get that money from. Expeditiously. Quicker than DHL. I'm talking same day delivery, bro. These men have their way, because remember, there are more women who are desperate for a man to give them companionship and validation than there are men who are desperate for sex. You'd be surprised, men want sex, but they actually know how to apply strategy to get what they want plus sex. Whereas women, no strategy, no tact, just showing all your cards and I just want to be myself. I just want to be truthful. I'm an honest person. I don't lie. You don't lie. Well, that's why you're in the situation you're in, because you don't know how to lie. You don't need to tell everybody the truth. Not everything in your head must be said out loud. Have some self-control. Have some self-control. Learn to manage the way you share information about yourself. Okay? The good girl, genuine, pure-hearted, that don't work, girl. You're literally dealing with demons. Men are literally... Do you think men care about, I'm a good person? I will never lie. I think lying is so bad. Whole time, that man has lied to you from the moment you met. He lied that he wanted to be friends with you just so he could sleep with you. And you fell for it, and now you're giving him money. Oh. Don't have it, fam. But yeah, before I wrap this up, I really enjoyed this episode. That was hilarious. I gave myself a fucking laugh, as I always do. By the way, people often ask me, like, is there anyone in the room when I'm recording this? No, it's literally me and the voices in my head, guys. There's nobody in this room. I be in here talking to myself, cackling. Okay? So I hope that when you're listening, you know that it's literally me just talking to you in the camera. There is no energetic feedback I'm getting in this room other than the voices in my head go, ooh! But yeah, take care. Stop giving them money and instead give them hope, give them encouragement, give them support, give them kindness, give them vibes, give them prayers, give them applause, give them validation if you really have to, but do not give them your money because you are at a socio-economic disadvantage already as it is. That is like going to the ocean, getting a bucket, scooping the bucket into the ocean, taking that bucket, looking at it and being like, this is my bucket of water and I am glad I've got this water. And then you look at the ocean and you feel bad for having taken water from the ocean. So you go and take that bucket and you pour it back into the ocean because you feel bad. Meanwhile, the ocean is bigger than everything on this planet. And you feel bad because you took a little fucking, what could be equivalent of, it wouldn't even be equivalent of a teardrop. It'd be a molecule of mist. That's the equivalent of the bucket you took. That's how I feel about taking money from men. As long as patriarchy exists, men are the ocean. I will take what I want from the ocean and I will not feel bad about it because the ocean will forever replenish itself. Just like how patriarchy will continue to sustain itself at my expense. So, I really enjoyed this episode, like I said. Take care. Don't be giving men your money. And remain vigilant. Because these men are liars.